set up the G11 for indoor or low light pictures, you're going to want to know about the indoor scene mode, the low light mode, the program mode, turning the flash on or off, changing the ISO, setting the white balance, possibly the manual focus, and also maybe the night portrait flash for special effects. Let's start by setting the indoor scene mode. Very easily done. Just turn your mode dial to SCN. This stands for scene, and what this allows me to do is use my control wheel to change the scene until I get to indoor, which looks like that. What this does is optimize the camera for indoor low light situations. In this mode, the flash is set to auto, and so is ISO. And that's probably fine. You can go ahead and take your pictures as you normally would. Just press the shutter button halfway. The camera will try and find a focus point, and then go ahead and press the shutter button the rest of the way to take the picture. Another mode you can use is the low light mode. That's indicated by this candle in the mode dial. This also optimizes the camera for low light situations. You'll notice, however, in this mode, my resolution is limited to medium. So if I want to take high resolution pictures, I will not be able to do it using this mode. What I normally do is just use the program mode. Move your mode dial to P. You might want to use the flash. It really depends on the look you're going for. Press the flash button right here to access that option, and use your control dial to move over. If you're taking portraits, I would recommend using the flash. This will bring out the subject a little bit. If, however, you're indoors at a restaurant, for example, and you have a very long table filled with your friends and family, and you want to get them all properly exposed, I would recommend turning the flash off. Press the flash button and move that to flash off. The reason is because the flash will illuminate all the people in the foreground very well, but everybody in the background will not get the flash, and you'll get a very bright and dark image. If you're in that situation and you're not going to use the flash, you may need to increase the ISO to compensate for the low light. Simply change your ISO dial right here. You can turn that up. Mine is now set to 400. If I press my shutter button halfway, I can see what my shutter speed will be set to in this lighting condition. I know that 1/100th of a second is fast enough to handhold, and this should be just fine. If you're in a lower light situation, you may need to increase it from 400 to 800 or even higher yet. Make sure your white balance is properly set. Press the function button to access the function menu, and use your control dial to move across the white balance options at the bottom. If you're indoors, more than likely you're using tungsten lights, so I would recommend going with the tungsten setting. If, however, you're in fluorescent lighting, just go ahead and set the white balance to fluorescent instead. Press function again to escape this menu. Sometimes, if the lighting is very, very low, the camera will have difficulty finding a focus point, so you're going to have to use the manual focus. Press the MF button right up here to access the manual focus option, and use your control dial to move this gauge up and down. Let's say your subject is about 5 feet away. Just move this up to 5 feet and go ahead and take your picture. If you find that the pictures are not coming out in focus, you may want to change this setting. Finally, if it's very, very low lighting, you may want to set the flash to the slow synchro mode or the night option. This means the flash will fire, but the shutter speed will stay open long enough to expose for the ambient light. So you're going to get a long shutter speed out of this, but the flash will fire, in a way, freezing the subject in place. If you find that your pictures are coming out too blurry with the slow synchro flash option, you may want to use the flash on option in order to get a faster shutter speed. Keep in mind, if you are going to use the flash, make sure your white balance is set to flash. This way your subject will be properly color balanced instead of the background. Like with any picture, press the shutter button halfway, compose the image the way you want it, and only then press the shutter button the rest of the way when you're ready to take the picture.